business now on the programme. Voters in India heading to the polls this month to vote in legislative elections. But youth unemployment, well, it's become a central campaign theme, especially for the opposition, hasn't it, Charles Pellegrin?
That's right, Stuart. The Indian National Congress and its leader, Rahul Gandhi, have used this issue to criticize the rule of Narendra Modi and his Hindu nationalist BJP. Over the weekend, Gandhi said that Modi had made India a, quote, center for unemployment, basing his argument on a report by the International Labour Organization that found that those aged between 15 and 29 make up 83% of all unemployed people in the country. Well, that is just one figure in a report that's over 300 pages long and that provides a more complex take on the situation. For instance, looking at youth unemployment rates over time, India's young population saw unemployment rise in its ranks sharply at the start of Modi's time as Prime Minister in 2014, up to 17.5% in 2019, before falling to 12.4% in 2022. One of Modi's decisions in particular is criticized in this regard, his 2016 move to demonetize 500 to 1,000 rupee notes. This was meant to combat money flowing through the informal sector and thus avoiding taxation. But so much of the Indian economy and workforce exists within that sector, about 93%, according to the ILO report. The opposition argues that targeting that sector has hurt the job prospects of India's youth.
There's another factor, though, isn't there, Charles, that's hiring for white-collar jobs, particularly in the IT sector, has slowed down.
India's IT sector and its manufacturing, the manufacturing that comes with it, is growing, but compared to other informal industries like making leather goods or textiles that rely on manpower, IT relies more on capital and mechanization, leading to more limited job creation. A recruitment firm found that between 2022 and 2023, there was an 18% drop in IT hardware and software sections in terms of job postings. And overall, there was a 5% drop in job postings in all sectors. Whether this drop will be seen as Modi's responsibility, well, we'll find out in early June when the results of the election will be published.
Now we can talk about trains on the company. This is HighSpeed Trains, though, a US company breaking ground on what officials are calling the country's first true high-speed rail line.
Bullet train service will link Los Angeles, California with Las Vegas, Nevada, with service expected to begin in time for the 2028 Olympics in LA. It's a big step for the famously car-loving nation, where ambitions for high-speed rail have previously run into major obstacles. Brian Quinn has the story.
From the City of Angels to Sin City in just 2 hours, all without leaving the ground. In a ceremony Monday, the U.S. company Brightline laid the symbolic first spikes for a new high-speed rail line.
We're the only industrialized country in the world that doesn't have a high-speed rail in America, and 4 years from now, we won't be saying that anymore. So it's truly a historic thing.
The line will link the city of Rancho Cucamonga, just outside Los Angeles, to a terminal just south of the iconic Las Vegas Strip in half the time it takes to drive. Brightline's electric trains will travel at 300 kilometers per hour, with checked bags, bathrooms, Wi-Fi, and refreshments at prices comparable to an airline ticket. The company is hoping they'll draw 11 million passengers per year. If so, it will be a big step towards cutting air pollution and traffic along Interstate 15, where 44,000 cars cross the state line every day, often creating miles of traffic jams outside LA.
There'll be a million fewer cars stuck in traffic, so even if you don't use it, you'll be benefiting from the people who do. And because the 15 is such an important freight route, that reduced congestion will have a material benefit to America's supply chains.
Brightline has already opened fast, though not bullet train fast, rail service in South Florida. It's hoping to avoid the problems that have plagued a planned LA to San Francisco rail line, where routing disputes and construction delays have caused estimated costs to triple to $105 billion since first being approved 16 years ago.
Looks pretty impressive, doesn't it? Let's end then with a quick look at the market, Sean.
In Europe, we're seeing the major bourses open the session this Tuesday higher. We can see the FTSE in London up 0.5% higher, and the Paris CAC 40 up over 0.33% higher. And among the stocks performing well, there is car maker Renault, who reported a 1.8% uptick in the first quarter revenue, boosted by its financing business. So more how they get people to pay for the cars as opposed to the number of cars sold.
Sean, thanks very much. Sean Pellegrino looking at the business news for us here on France 24.